Hey there everyone. Well, I hope you're doing well. I know that this is there's not as much variety here as I'm coming back. I want to do another coffee video because I made this today and I wanted to show it to you because there's a video from a guy about like 10 years ago, and he said I was really frustrated at making, so this is a Cuban coffee that I'm going to be demonstrating, and he said I was having a lot of difficulty making the crema. So it's I can't remember the pronunciation of it for the Spanish name or Cuban name, but the topping of it, the sugar coating of it. And he said I got really frustrated and I stopped doing it. He said I don't know what's changed. And so today, luckily, when I made this for breakfast, I achieved a pretty decent head of crema on it. So I thought I'm going to attempt to show it to you guys. And I can tell you what changes when that happens. Was I encountered a video that was like so very helpful. This right when I woke up today, and it was this lady making the recipe, and she said when you're making the crema sugar consistency, she said it's vital that it be pretty thick but it not be too wet, and it needs to be she said think of smooth peanut butter. And so I thought that, and it actually worked pretty well earlier today, so I thought I'm going to attempt to show it. So it just starts out with the mocha pot, just the same as before. The only difference is I'm going to be using peel-on coffee, but there's different other brands, but the peel-on and Café Bustelo are usually the two that people do the recipe with, but obviously anything works, and you can go with what your taste is. That's kind of how these videos are, you know. It's thinking of your taste, but I'm wanting to help you with the recipe a little bit. And I also already measured out my water, and so this is this is the Bialetti, and it makes 1 demi-tasse is what this makes. So it's less than half a cup, in between 1/4 and 1/2 cup, but in milliliters, it's just under 100 milliliters, like 90 or 80 into the maker, and then you get a demi-tasse 60-70 milliliters, something along that line. So I'm gonna first get this on the stove. I'm gonna go heat my water. And it's probably easier to do that in like a kettle. That's what usually people are doing. But I just like seeing my measurement perfectly like that. I couldn't tell you why. It's just a routine thing, I guess. So the peel-on coffee appeared to be a little bit more on the medium end than the dark end. The Café Bustelo was quite a dark blend. But so far I've liked this a little bit better. So I'm just going to get my funnel, the middle section of my mocha pot. Probably better to use a spoon, but I usually been getting these vacuum sealed bricks, and I actually kind of like that. And kind of just use your finger to pack it in. You don't want to tamp this like an actual espresso machine, and since it's not really espresso, it's its own coffee, you know. And I bet my water's ready. Yes. Okay, water's ready. Now, then, put the funnel there. Get rid of the mess. Okay, that. Okay. And screw this on there. And again, like I said in my last video, you gotta be sure that that's all the way seated before you screw it. And then when you screw this on, you gotta make 100% positive that you really clamp down on it. So we will get that on the stove. I mean, it is the stove. I don't know, I say weird stuff half the time. I'm gonna close the coffee. Now, I put that on high, but I'm going to be watching it. That's why I left the lid up. So I'm going to be watching it. And then to make the crema, the key is you start out with the first bit of coffee that comes out, because what it seems to be is that it's because that's going to be the strongest part of the coffee. And so you don't want to lose it too much in the sugar. Now, this is a really, really sweet beverage. You know, it's not completely about tasting the notes of the coffee or anything. There is notes, but it's muted in the sweetness. And but I actually quite enjoyed it when I had it today. So what I'm going to be doing right now is, while this is working, I'm going to preheat my demi-tasse. You don't have to do that, but I prefer to do that, especially because when you're working with the sugar, it seems, you know, to cool it down a little bit. So I just popped that in there. And then the other key is you don't want to use any type of, you don't want to use anything in the realm of Splenda, Sweet and Low, anything like that. They don't work, because it has to do with the actual, it has to do with the way that real sugar acts, and not the way that any of those act. So it's kind of you can't do any, you're not able to get it when you use anything other than that. At least that's what everyone said, and all I've ever used was the white sugar. So I bet you probably could do the same thing with like a Demerara sugar. I bet you probably could. I just haven't tried it. But anyway, it just has to be a real type of sugar. So I've preheated that. Now, typically they would use the little steel, metal, coffee carafe, whatever they want to call it. I bet there's a name for it. But I actually just whip the sugar in my little demi-tasse. And you just need to fill the bottom of that, pretty much the whole bottom of it. I didn't count how many spoonfuls a while ago, but maybe 2 full tablespoons I would go on. Just the whole bottom filled up. And then I'm just still waiting on my coffee here. So it's just going to be another minute. But yeah. So you could think of these 2 videos as the espresso and just regular mocha pot coffee was the first video, and then today's is the Cuban style coffee. And there's other recipes with this. There's Café con Leche as well. And some more milky one and other different ones, but this is what I've seemed to have grown to really like. think I hear it bubbling, but I can't tell. And then when you have an electric one, you just want to turn it off right when it starts coming up because it's already hot enough. There we go. It's already beginning to come up. So we've got that in there. And you're just gonna whip this really, really well. And so it's a little bit too wet in texture, so I'm about to go ahead and add just a little bit more, because it's a very, very sweet version of coffee. That's done. Should be enough at this point. Okay, that's just about perfect. So you want it to be about that consistency. And now from here, you're just gonna really, really beat the crap out of it. Because you're trying to get it more like ribbony and golden in color as it melts the sugar, and you beat the air into it as well. So as I said a while ago when that man was talking about, well, what changed? This is so much about the ratio. And like I said, I hadn't even ever really produced a good Cuban coffee until earlier today. And now it already seems like I've decently mastered it. But it may be because I have a little bit of chef skills, but I don't know. There, that's fairly done, Will. That's good. I'm comfortable with this going on the net, so that's good. So, add a little bit. And then top it off. Just to kind of get it off the edges of this one. Okay. So what I'll do, I will tell you guys goodbye and enjoy this, but I will cut the camera and show you how it looks to end the video off. So I will see you, and I wish you the best, and I will come back later for anything else that comes to mind. So I wish you guys a good one. I will see you.